Hello and welcome to today's video, which is going to be an ingredient spotlight on salicylic acid, which is personally my favorite exfoliating ingredient in products. So it has a lot of different uses. So salicylic acid you can also see listed as beta hydroxy acid or BHA, and its main focus is helping the causes of acne. Other than functioning as an anti-acne ingredient, it can also help with skin conditioning, skin soothing, which a lot of people don't put together with exfoliating acids. Also helps with dandruff and scalp care issues. So what makes salicylic acid unique is most alpha-hydroxy acids are water-soluble, and salicylic acid is actually an oil-soluble exfoliating ingredient. That's why it's unique, and it's also able to get through skin's oils and skin's many layers to get down into the pores themselves. So it does a little bit more deeper exfoliating than things like glycolic acid and lactic acid, which you see a lot of in skincare products. So salicylic acid is unique because it can exfoliate the skin's surface as well as inside the pores. So if you have blackheads, issues with that, salicylic acid is a great ingredient to add into your routine. It's very unique that way that it gets into the actual pores. So the main use for salicylic acid as an exfoliant that helps shed dead skin over the entire face, and it helps reveal fresher, excuse me, and it helps reveal fresher, healthier skin, and also potentially helps evening out skin tone. I will say I've noticed that with several salicylic acid products that in addition to helping clear up skin, they also help skin tone looking more even. So it cleans out the pores and also cleans out the lining of the pores, which helps reduce breakouts, blackheads, and reduces whiteheads. So three of my favorites, which if you've asked for a recommendation of a salicylic acid or exfoliant, I've probably recommended one of these to you. The Tula Acne Clearing and Tone Correcting Gel, it's a great option. It's got salicylic acid as well as azelaic acid, which is great for skin, niacinamide as well. The Paula's Choice 4% BHA exfoliant, which is a great one if you have stubborn issues with acne and blackheads. This is a great one. Also, I will say, after using this off and on for several years now, this one also helps increase hydration and soothing skin as well. And then the very popular Drunk Elephant TLC Framboos Serum, which contains alpha-hydroxy and beta-hydroxy acid. So this one's a good one as well. The most expensive out of the three, I think the Tula is the most affordable one. So if you have issues with acne as well as skin tone, the Tula one is great as well. So these are three of my favorites. I've got a few more to recommend as well. So the most effective types of salicylic acid are generally going to be ones that are leave-on treatments, such as these. You want to apply them typically in your evening routine, leave them on while you sleep, rinse them off in the morning. Typically, a concentration of 2% is the ideal, but you can go up to some as high as 8 or 9%. 4% is the one that's in the Paula's Choice. And so 2% is kind of the ideal, especially if you're new to exfoliants. You want to start there. Lower percentages, so there's some products out there that have lower percentages. Those mainly function as skin soothing products. I'm trying to think if I have anything. This one might have this one's got 2% as well. I'm trying to think if I have anything with a lower concentration than 2%. I don't think I do though. The Tula Keep It Clear Cleanser is also a great one. The Farmacy Deep Sweep, another good option. So if your skin is very stubborn or you have hard to treat acne issues, you can use products with a higher percentage, all the way up to 9%, but be very cautious. Start out very slow. Don't pick one of these up and start using it twice a day or even once a day for several days in a row. Use it once, skip a couple days, use it again, skip a couple days, and do that for a few weeks until your skin acclimates to it. I cannot emphasize that enough because I get so many comments and questions from people. I've ruined my skin. I started to use this every single night and now I don't know what to do. And Sometimes they blame the product for it when a lot of times it's not the product's fault. It's generally the user. And you know what? I've done it too. I get so excited to have a new product. I use it once. My skin looks great. Well, if once is great, then let me do it again and again. If, you know, one is good, 5 is great, right? Slow. So, another key issue for salicylic acid is the pH of it. A pH between 3 and 4 is ideal. However, if you have products that have a higher pH, like one of them I've got, let me grab it, is this Pixi Clarity Tonic. This one has a higher pH. So the salicylic acid doesn't function so much as an exfoliant, but more of a skin soothing ingredient. So if the pH of the product is not in the 3 to 4 range, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're not getting any good effects. It just means you probably won't get very good exfoliating effects, but your skin might benefit from the skin soothing properties of salicylic acid. So that's something to mention. You don't want to really go lower than a pH of 3 because it just increases the likelihood that your skin will be irritated by it, and you don't want that. So keep that one in mind. I know pH for like alpha hydroxy acids is essential, but for salicylic acid, since it has more benefits than just the exfoliation, if you have a product with a pH that's not in the ideal range, you're still going to get some good benefits from it. So keep that one in mind as well. The other thing I want to mention, if you use salicylic acid, be sure to use sunscreen during the daytime. Although some studies have shown that salicylic acid has photoprotective properties, sunscreen is still key, especially if you have issues with uneven skin tone. If you don't use a sunscreen, you're just going to continually be retreating the same thing over and over again, going out, redamaging it, coming back at night and trying to treat it when you're better off trying to prevent the damage to start with than treat it. Okay, so salicylic acid, as I mentioned, is also a great anti-inflammatory and skin calming ingredient. And using a cleanser with salicylic acid is a great way to get some of those benefits. The Tula cleanser is great. I really like this mask from The Ordinary, the salicylic acid 2% mask. That's a nice one and super affordable. The First Aid Beauty, they just came out with this new version of their treatment pads. This one contains 2% salicylic acid, and it's just a pad which you smooth over your skin. Obviously, the jar packaging, not super ideal for it, but let's see. Geek and Gorgeous, they also have their Mandelic and beta hydroxy acid exfoliating liquid, which is a nice option. First Aid Beauty, their Acne 2% salicylic acid spot treatment. This is a good one. However, the nice thing with this one is if you have a good salicylic acid product that you like, you don't just have to use it on spot treatments. You can use it over your entire skin. So that's something else to keep in mind. The Paula's Choice Azelaic acid and salicylic acid is also a nice one. This one, you don't want to use any other exfoliating products with this one because this one has a good punch of salicylic acid in there. And then hair treatment, Drunk Elephant TLC Scalp Serum. The Inkey list also has a great scalp salicylic acid treatment, which is also a nice one to add into your hair care routine if you have issues with dandruff or product buildup. It's a good one to add into your routine. The other thing is salicylic acid can also help with skin that is overly oily. Since salicylic is oil soluble, when applied, salicylic acid can break down the fatty compounds on the surface of the skin, such as the skin's natural oil and sebum. And adding salicylic into your routine for oily skin can help clear out excess oils and reduce sebum levels over time. On that note, it can also function as an astringent. Salicylic acid is a highly effective astringent that can minimize the appearance of pores by tightening the skin and reducing the oiliness of skin. And by minimizing the pores, salicylic acid can help give skin a more youthful, smooth appearance. And then I mentioned before, it's also frequently used in a lot of dandruff shampoos, which if you have a dry scalp and it's very dry and flaky, salicylic acid can help to some extent, but you might want to try other dandruff treatments before you get to salicylic acid, just because that can cause some more over exfoliation. And I've noticed with certain shampoos with a lot of salicylic acid in them, for my scalp, which can get very dry, in the long run it can make it a little bit worse. So like tar, coal, things like that can help as well as antifungals and things like that. So keep that one in mind. So I want to mention these as my favorites. Also the Cerave Salicylic Acid Cleanser is a great one. The Glossier Solution. The Paula's Choice Clay Purifying Mask. The Philosophy Clear Days Ahead. And then a couple of these that I've mentioned. The Versed Keep the Peace Acne Cleanser is a good one. And then the other one. So I can add this list to the bottom of this video for your information. But salicylic acid is a great one. Personally, it's my favorite exfoliant. It's the one I reach for the most often just because I love how it helps with blackheads, preventing breakouts, and the fact that it kind of soothes skin and can also be kind of hydrating a little bit. I find it great for oily and dry skin alike. So you cannot go wrong with any of these products, although if you really want exfoliation, the Pixi is great for soothing and calming skin, but not so much for the exfoliation product. The two I've repurchased the most have to be the Paula's Choice and the Tula. These are two of my absolute favorites of all of them. So anyway, I am interested in hearing from you guys. If you are a big salicylic acid fan, what is your favorite product? These are just a handful. There is a gazillion products with it in there. So some are great, some not so much. So that's why I want to hear from you guys. So definitely leave a comment. I love hearing from you. And stay tuned for more reviews tomorrow. And in a week, I'll do my next ingredient spotlight. And if there's a specific ingredient you want to hear about, leave a comment as well. So thank you guys so much, and I'll see you tomorrow.